with coverage you can count on. This is the Erie News NOWCAST.
Good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Wednesday morning edition of the NOWCAST here on Facebook Live. We're going to kick it off with some breaking news from right here at home. State police searching for the suspect who they are describing as armed and dangerous. That's after an early morning shooting in southern Erie County. Here's what we know right now. Troopers are looking for this man, 43-year-old William Consini of Erie, wanted in connection to an incident that's landed one man in the hospital with some serious gunshot wounds. The first calls for this one came in around 6:30 this morning, a shooting at a trailer park off of West Road down in Waterford. That's where state troopers say they found one man suffering from gunshot wounds. Rescue crews did transport that 36-year-old man to UPMC Hammond. Our cameras caught images of him being wheeled into the emergency room. That gunshot victim is still at Hammond at this hour. They are not releasing his name or condition, and no word yet from investigators on what they think may have led up to this shooting or any possible connection between the suspect and victim. So again, state police are searching for this man, 43-year-old William Consini, after an early morning shooting in Waterford. This left one man wounded. State police tell Erie News Now they did find that suspect's vehicle in New York State, but the manhunt continues. Count on Erie News Now for continuing coverage on this one throughout the day.
I heard George Floyd saying, "I can't breathe, please get off of me." When I look at George Floyd, I look at my dad, I look at my brothers, I look at my cousins, my uncles, because they are all black. I look at how that could have been one of them.
A third day of testimony expected today in the trial for former Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin, of course, charged with murder in the death of George Floyd last year. 6 witnesses took the stand on day 2, all there on that May day last year when George Floyd died. Bystanders included the teenager who videotaped the incident, a mixed martial arts fighter who happened to just wander upon the scene while it was all happening, along with a Minneapolis first responder, an off-duty firefighter who said those officers at the scene wouldn't even let her help George Floyd. The teen who shot the video with Officer Chauvin on George Floyd's neck told the jury how that day changed her life and how she wished she had done more to help Floyd. Now today, prosecutors are expected to start calling expert witnesses to talk about how they believe Officer Chauvin caused George Floyd's death. And new this morning, Florida Congressman Matt Gaetz says he did not have a sexual relationship with a teenager. Comes on the heels of a New York Times report that the Justice Department's investigating Gaetz's possible sexual relationship with a 17-year-old girl. The Justice Department said to be looking at whether Gaetz paid that teen to travel with him. That would be a violation of federal sex trafficking laws. Now, the Times reports the investigation came in the final months of the Trump administration. It's part of a larger investigation, they say, into a political ally of Congressman Gaetz. That ally has already pled not guilty to sex trafficking charges. Gaetz is calling this whole thing an extortion plot. The police in New York have made an arrest in a pretty brutal attack on an Asian woman that happened not too long ago. The suspect, 38-year-old Brandon Elliott, caught on camera earlier this week kicking that woman in the stomach, basically knocking her to the ground. A pretty tough to look at piece of video that we're going to show you right now. The suspect repeatedly seen stomping that woman on the face while hurling anti-Asian slurs. The suspect now facing 6 criminal counts, 2 charges of assault as a hate crime. Now, he's already apparently on lifetime parole after being released from prison in 2019. He'd been convicted of killing his own mother in 2002. The victim in this attack has since been discharged from the hospital. Well, the effort to find a Mill Creek man who's been reported missing now for some 5 days, that effort is back underway at this hour down in Erie's waterfront. Authorities are looking for a 21-year-old Rabin Subedi, last seen back on Friday. His family says he was headed to Ohio to see his girlfriend but never arrived. So police have been involved in this search effort down on the waterfront, getting help from an Ohio-based search and rescue team. It was a cell phone ping, as we've been reporting, that led investigators down to Erie's Lampy Marina. That's where they found Subedi's car abandoned over the weekend. And they eventually checked out security camera video from the marina showing a man getting out of that vehicle and entering the water. Again, so far that search effort has come up empty. It did resume a little bit earlier this Wednesday morning. Well, today is the day Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf says everyone who is included in Phase 1A of Pennsylvania's rollout should either be vaccinated against the coronavirus or at least have an appointment to get that shot. Governor Wolf hasn't yet said, though, if he's officially going to advance on to Phase 1B for Pennsylvania or just give up on those phases altogether and open up the vaccination to all adults, like a number of other states have already done. But on Tuesday, Wolf did say Pennsylvania is catching up on the vaccine distribution. He says we're about 3/4 of the way through phase 1A. Of course, President Biden has said he wants all adults to be eligible for the shot by May 1st. And it's official this morning. Pennsylvania schools can lower the physical distancing requirements between their students. The move from 6 feet down to 3 brings the state in line with the most up-to-date guidance from the CDC. They do say 6 feet should still be the rule in common school areas like the auditorium or the lobby, as well as during the sporting activities. Even with the distance changes, masks are still going to be required within Pennsylvania school buildings. Well, the next time you attend a large gathering, say a pro football game, a wedding, or a concert, you may need to show proof that you've been vaccinated, or at least proof that you recently tested negative for COVID. That's as the Biden administration looks into a so-called vaccine passport that would let Americans prove they've had that shot. Erie News Now's Molly Samora takes a closer look.
It's like you have a regular passport that you have documentation saying that you were vaccinated, when you were vaccinated, and then also when your most recent negative COVID test was. So I think it's just a way of keeping track and keeping people honest as we think about travel, international travel, vacations, to prevent the spread of COVID-19.
Erie News Now contributor Dr. Becky Dawson tells me a vaccine passport would be a documentation to show commitment to get the vaccine, be fully vaccinated, and then when that has happened, be able to travel and go around other people.
These vaccines aren't just, let's go get a vaccine to create individual immunity, but we're really thinking about it as a holistic approach to kind of stop this global pandemic.
Dr. Dawson says this passport card could be an incentive for people who want to travel.
You have to have a card that says that you've been vaccinated to enter a hotel or get on an airplane or go to Disney World. I think it's going to change the game. I think people are going to have to do it if they actually want to do those types of activities.
I asked her when we could see the vaccine card being required.
It is coming out of the private sector here in the United States that it could move quickly. I think though that if we look around the world and we see that other countries are already, in the EU, they're already talking about this being, mandated, required, it might force things to speed up very quickly. And to be honest, I think the most useful time to do this is right now.
Our Molly Samora reporting there. All right, David, you got some raindrops on that camera lens, checking out the bayfront. It's turned into a rainy Wednesday.
Yeah, it's a rainy last day of March as we do deal with those great conditions out there. You can see this is from our Oliver's cam, and you know what they say about March showers. They bring April snow showers, right? Then eventually May flowers, something like that. But it's here in Northwest PA, so we are looking at that chance for some snow coming up later tonight and tomorrow. We do have those low clouds out there. We're going to look for a little bit of sunshine as we progress through the afternoon. 44 degrees, certainly a big turn in those temperatures. We were in the 70s yesterday. We feel like 41 with that light westerly wind. Winds will be fairly light overall today, but it is pretty gray out there, and we certainly have those rain showers that continue to move on through. A little bit of sunshine farther west of Cleveland, but we will be dealing with a fair amount of clouds as we go through the day. As we give radar a little pause, you can still see some of those showers along 219 through Bradford, also into McKean County towards St. Mary's as well. So for the duration of today, we're expecting a lot of those showers to generally be out of the area, but still some light stuff during the first part of the afternoon. Mostly cloudy skies, so we get you to 8, 9 o'clock. We're looking at maybe a little burst of snow into the mountains and then some scattered snow showers towards the lakeshore later in the night. And then as we get you into your Thursday morning, notice that we're still not picking up a whole lot as we go through the morning. Maybe a little bit of added lake effect later on in the day. Totals still fairly light, but we have not seen a whole lot of snow lately. We're talking about 1, maybe up to 3 inches of snow. The 3-inch totals more so into the snow belt, but you can see anywhere between about 1 to 2, maybe 3 inches on our snow model here. So that's kind of the idea of what we are expecting for your Thursday, April Fool's Day, but no joke with the weather. Cold front moving on through. You can see 50s to the east where it is a little bit milder, and we got 40s towards the lake shore as that colder air continues to split through the area. There's that cold front right there. We have the westerly winds merging with more of that southerly wind. That's the cold front right there. But this weekend, things looking better. The forecast will be drier for any of those outdoor activities for your Easter Saturday or Easter Sunday as well. 56 degrees for Easter Sunday. We will have some of that sunshine, and those temperatures will just continue to go up into next week. Your zone outlook for today, we are expecting temperatures to just be caught where they're at as that colder air comes on in. We're looking at 40s all across the area this afternoon. A little bit of sunshine out there, so don't be surprised if you do see some bright spots in the sky. Still dealing with those mainly cloudy skies and a few extra showers to the mountains of Warren County. Temperatures coming down your way into the 40s this afternoon. We'll talk about that 7-day and how mild we could be next week in a few minutes.
All right, thank you, David. It seems President Joe Biden's dog, by a named Major, isn't quite out of the doghouse just yet. That pup's now reportedly been involved in a second nipping incident, they're calling this one at the White House. I think the first one was called a biting incident, but they're being very careful with their words about Major's chompers. The press secretary for First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, says that Major again nipped someone while Major was out on a walk. They do say that Major is still adjusting to his new surroundings down in Washington, D.C. Earlier this month, a 3-year-old German Shepherd nipped a Secret Service agent's hand. Sounds a little bit better than a bite, I suppose, but yeah, Major out of the White House, back in the doghouse. Lots of people are hoping life will slowly return to normal, perhaps by this summer. Not looking that way, though, for kids headed to summer camp here in 2021, public pools as well. The Wolf administration says kids hitting those camps and pools going to have to still wear those face masks this summer and maintain social distance. They did issue this updated COVID-19 guidance for summer camps across the Commonwealth on Tuesday. The state says kids at those camps will be allowed to take off their masks, of course, when they're eating and drinking. Most of the rules for camps and public pools are the same as last year. One little change, those camps will be able to operate at up to 75% of their maximum capacity. All right, David, saying goodbye to the month of March.
Yeah, and we're getting into April with some April snow showers on a Thursday. Could create some slick conditions out there, maybe during the morning, also later on in the afternoon. It's going to be kind of that slushy accumulation as temperatures will still be hanging out around 32 degrees. We're up into the 40s on Friday, so a lot of that snow will be melting away fairly quickly, and you can see once we get into the Easter weekend, looking good. Even early next week, fairly dry. Maybe a few more of those spring rain showers on a Tuesday with highs in the 60s.
And of course, we'll be on the air at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning for Erie News Now Sunrise, letting you know just how snowy it is out there, keeping our eyes on the local roads. And we've got 30 minutes of news coming your way at noon on WSEE. And we'll be right back here on Facebook just about the same time tomorrow. See you then.